As a mother, as a resident of West Baltimore, and as the chief prosecutor, it's extremely disheartening to see the amount of gun violence that plagues our communities. The number of retaliatory shootings from the dueling interests of just a few, most of the time sparked by petty differences, are simply out of control. When there have been 445 shootings and 177 homicides by way of firearm just this year alone, when innocent 4, 6, and 90-year-olds are being shot in broad daylight, and yet people are still unwilling to step forward as a community, it's time for us to ask ourselves, what are we doing about it? The Commissioner and I stand before you today and can affirmatively assert that it's a very small number of individuals that define the negative perception of our city and are responsible for the majority of the crime and the violence that impacts our communities. Today, I am announcing the creation of an operational prosecutorial unit that works in conjunction with Baltimore Police Department to focus on violent repeat offenders that use guns during the commission of crime. The Gun Violence Enforcement Division will target violent gun offenders and will be comprised of my most elite prosecutors who will work alongside of 4 of the most premier Baltimore Police Department detectives that will be co-located and housed within this office. This sole responsibility of this new unit is to ensure the aggregation of intelligence that's extracted from my criminal strategies unit and the Baltimore Police Department is used to not only apprehend and charge, but to convict those who are administering gun violence in this city. With the added emphasis of these suspects and continual work to improve community and law enforcement relations, it is my desire to assist Baltimore Police Department in increasing the non-fatal shooting clearance rate.
So the Gun Violence Enforcement Division is a really progressive next step in this relationship to ensure that the gun arrests that Baltimore police officers and Baltimore detectives make when they're being prepared for successful prosecution will have a sergeant and 4 full-time detectives housed out of the state's attorney's office, and they'll ensure that every aspect of that case is at the highest quality, so when it gets into a courtroom, we can have a successful resolution. And when I say we can have a successful resolution, I mean the community, because the community is tired of violent repeat offenders getting out again and again and again, and we realize that we have a collective responsibility to do something new, something different. We're constantly talking about new strategies and new ideas, so the Gun Violence Enforcement Division is the latest example of our ongoing collaboration. We think it will result in better quality prosecutions, and we think it'll have better outcomes for our entire community.